So Dogen says, we speak dreams in dream from before all dreaming. The English word dream implies futures. I dream of the future. I dream of what I want. I dream of this and that. I don't think in whatever the word is in Japanese that Dogen uses doesn't mean the dream of what's not here. He means the dream which is always here, never leaves us. So you have to sort of like, how do we discover the dream which is always here? Well, if you are horizontal, you find what happens what is horizontality? It's a stopped body. It's a body which is stopped. It can't act, it can't jump, it can't swim, it's stopped. What other stopped body do we know? Zazen. Zazen is a stopped body. Not exactly a still body. Through Zazen, through the birth canal of Zazen, we can discover stillness. But stillness is an attribute. One, I feel a little kooky making such small distinctions, but on the other hand, what Dogen means by dream mind, we can discover it in our own experience through the facticity, the experience of when you have a stopped body, you tend to dream. You interiorize experience. When you're vertical, you exteriorize experience. So I would say what Dogen means by dream is the interiorized mind of the stopped body. You are right now in your particular interiorized mind. And they're different. But now the assumption of mind in Buddhism is that the mind which the Buddha is interested in, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanaka, especially the Sambhogakaya, is the mind which can feel the interiorized minds of others. So mind is a very subtle concept in Buddhism, in the mind of the three bodies of Buddha, or the mind that's realized through the distinctions of the skandhas. As you're practicing, there's suddenly, you're not getting rid of thoughts, as I said the other day. Thoughts somehow just kind of fold out of sight into the black hole or something. They just fold, they're gone. And you find yourself in an absence. And you can stop there. That's different than stillness. So you stop. Well, what happens when you stop? And maybe there's an intersection. And there may be a lot going on at the intersection. In stillness, you're trying to calm everything down, But if you're just stopped, what happens here at the intersection? And maybe it even isn't an intersection. Maybe it's an intersection. Excuse my trying to fine-tune our experience. So an intersection, what happens at the intersections? And if you feel it as an intersection, then you're opening to, there's an openness to acceptance, to whatever enters. So the intersection is not quite the same as the samadhic stillness. So with this kind of in mind, let me continue this translation. We speak dreams in dream. In a stopped mind, he means. We speak dreams in dream from before all dreaming. Source mind. It's the pervasive proclamation of all realms. The pervasive proclamation of all realms is Dogen's way to say source mind. The source mind is there with all its proclamations, all its possibilities, probabilities, and of all realms. Everything is, all the probabilities are there in the source mind. This is the Japanese that Dogen uses, that Kidder Smith turned into English, which challenges, makes us really not just read it as conceptual language, but we have to read it as experiential language. And there's a difference between in dream and in dreams. Only attentionality can give you that distinction. It's the pervasive proclamation of all realms. The brightness of all things. So here, whatever Dogen says, and I didn't look up the original Shobogenzo passage that Kidder is translating here, but the brightness of all things. In other words, for the practitioner, every object, because it shines with mind, has a kind of brightness. And so now, Kidder is trying to say, the brightness is there, but when you notice it, it's the brightness. You suddenly know, oh boy, that's bright. That brightness is really bright. So he's trying to use English to say something that's in the feeling tone of Japanese. Not in the words of Japanese, but the feeling tone of Japanese. The very moment of our doubt and jumble, speaking dreams in dream is Buddha. The mind we live as, is an interiority. It appears most clearly as an interiority when you're sleeping or when you're horizontal. In the horizontal position, the horizontal posture allows the stopped mind to interiorize with more vividness. So the study of attentionality is to really get to feel the mind that not necessarily dreams while you're sleeping, but dreams while you're waking, which, my earliest example of it was sunbathing on the beach in Maine and places. Just lying on the beach all afternoon. Did it every summer as a kid. In the kind of the waves and kids down the beach somewhere. And you're awake, but you're in some kind of interiority. You end up being sunburned if you're not careful because you've been there all afternoon. So it's a kind of interiority that you begin to know through attentionality, the horizontal position. It's the same body in a different position. But when you begin to feel the suppose of the posture, you begin to see that the different postures, different minds arise in the different postures. The practice of attentionality, you begin to notice the stopped mind of sunbathing, the stopped mind maybe leaning back in a hot tub, or the stopped mind in your home zone zendo. Or the stopped mind you can explore before you go to sleep, or as you're waking up. So speaking dreams in dream is Buddha. So what he means there, or is trying to say there, is the source of what you're speaking is not in conceptual thinking of object permanence mind. Speaking dreams from the stopped mind is Buddha. And Buddha is wind, rain, water, and fire. In other words, Buddha is all the basic elements of, movement, heat, fluidity, so forth. No one can doubt that dreams are realization. Dreams aren't administered by doubt. Now that's an interesting, when you dream something, what's amazing about dreams is they're so convincing. Nor can anyone confirm it. They're not administered by doubt. They're unaltered by whether we believe them or not. Getting the marrow to speak dreams in dream. So too, our seeing and hearing, our body manifesting our understanding and our not understanding. Just now I speak dreams in dream to you. Just now I speak dreams in dream to you. Dream Dharma, waking Dharma, dream realization, waking realization are all full Dharma and full realization. So basically what he's saying here is when you fine-tune interiority, that fine-tuning of interiority is where Buddha's practice with us. It's where realization finds the soil of manifestation and acts with us in dream. Buddha's practice with us in dream, realize with us in dream, act with us in dream. This is not an analogy.